When former President Donald Trump walked into the White House in 2017, he inherited more than a polarized nation. He inherited Jerome Powell, a man who would soon become the most powerful unelected figure in the US economy.
At first, it seemed like a traditional relationship. The president appoints, the Fed chair acts independently. That's how it's supposed to work. But this is Trump we're talking about, and independence isn't exactly in his playbook. Fast forward to 2024, Trump's back on the campaign trail, and Powell, still the Fed chair. Only now the threat of being fired isn't just political theater, it's a potential policy move. Why? Because Powell has refused to cut interest rates before the election. Now think about that. The man tasked with protecting the economy from inflation is being pressured by a presidential candidate to lower rates. Not because it's the right time economically, but because it might boost market confidence and help a campaign. It's not the first time. Back in 2018 and 2019, Trump publicly berated Powell for raising rates, calling him clueless, and even suggesting he was a greater threat than China. Those weren't just words. Behind the scenes, legal teams explored whether Trump could legally demote Powell, something no president has successfully done since the Fed was created in 1913. They couldn't, not without a fight. But that was then.
I think he's doing a bad job, but he's going to be out pretty soon anyway.
Today, the idea of firing the Fed chair has resurfaced, and this time, legal scholars aligned with Trump believe they've found a way. A narrow legal theory, once dismissed, now being dusted off like a tool waiting for the right moment. And here's the kicker: Powell's term ends in 2026. But Trump might not wait that long. He wants influence now, especially as rates remain high, borrowing gets tougher, and economic headlines remain less than friendly. So what's really at stake? It's more than just one man's job. The Fed is designed to act independently, to protect long-term stability over short-term politics. Undermining that, even just in threat, could shake global markets, unsettle the dollar, and rattle investor trust. And maybe that's the point.
We're doing well, and as a country, if the Fed would ever lower rates, would buy debt for a lot less. It's a shame. This guy, do you ever have a guy that's not a smart person and you're dealing with him and you have to deal? He's not a smart guy. He's worried about inflation. I said, that's right. If there's inflation in 6 months or 9 months, you lower the rates, so you raise the rates. You can do whatever you want, Brian, right? So let's say there's rampant inflation, which there's none. You know what there is? There's success. I got a call from Congress last night.
When instability grows, power tends to consolidate. And Trump's playbook has always been about leverage. Most voters won't track Fed statements or FOMC minutes, but they will notice rising loan payments, expensive credit, and headlines that say Trump versus the Fed. And somewhere in that noise, the real decisions will get made. Not in the open, not in Congress, but in backdoor calls and legal memos, while the public debates the surface story. That's how power really moves, quietly, strategically, and when history looks back, it won't ask whether Powell kept his job. It'll ask what was sacrificed just to win one more term. Hit like, subscribe, and share your views below. Let's talk.